we're here. You ready? Because once we get started, I'm gonna be riding your tail till this is over. She stays with the ship, usually. Got a few more years to go before I let her swill whiskey in some backwater bar. There's something you should know up front. I'm a Co. As in Solomon Co., first man on Aquila. That tale I mentioned before, the one I think is connected to an artifact, it's something of a family legend. After Planetfall, Solomon spent years mapping Aquila, and he found a tiny little patch of nothing on his sensors. The kind of nothing an artifact produces. He called it the Empty Nest. Said it was a place even the wildlife of Aquila wouldn't go. Because you'll find a whole lot of nothing. Gravitational anomalies are a little hard to pick up in an area with tons of starship traffic. Not to mention all the electronics from the city, and security scramblers that the Free Star or smugglers out on the frontier put down. Yeah, and the Coes have been coasting on that for 10 generations now. Solomon's always a larger-than-life figure if you read the histories, but if you just listen to a few recordings of the man, he was simple. Just wanted to keep moving forward. Solomon's maps are locked up tight in the local gal bank. We'll be heading there.
Hold it. By order of Marshal Daniel Blake, I need to inform you we've got some trouble at Gal Bank. Folks might be in danger, so you may want to steer clear.
Never a dull moment around here.
I know you. You're Sam Coe. Marshal will be damn glad to have another Free Star Ranger helping out.
Afraid your information is a couple years out of date.
It's just behind me on the right. The place is on lockdown, so you should steer clear unless you can help out. Not usually, but he took charge of the situation because the bank robbers are part of the Shaw gang. The Marshal's had a lot of experience dealing with the gang, so he's calling the shots. Well, all I know is there was an attempted bank robbery and things went sideways. You'd have to ask the Marshal if you want the whole story. I guess that'd be the Marshal's call. Frankly, it ain't going well. Looks to be a stalemate. Maybe a little outside help would do some good.
You need to stand back now.
It's a hostage situation.
Now please, get back, or I'll have the guards drag you away. I don't mean to be rude, but I don't know you. Now please, stand back.
Aquila City at its finest, I see. Never a dull moment.
Well, I'll be damned. Sam Coe. Been a long time. I won't hold my breath about you being here to take the badge again. Listen, Sam, just so you know, I don't blame you for how it went down. For the others, though, you might get a different reception.
Thanks. I appreciate you saying so. But I figure some of that reception is owed. Still, I appreciate the sentiment, Marshal. It seems you got a situation. My friend here may be the answer you're looking for.
All right, Sam. I'll trust your judgment on this one. Some folks from the Shaw gang tried to rob the place, but they got spotted by a guard. They took everyone inside hostage, and now they're keeping a watch so we can't move against them. They're using the intercom to communicate. It's a big group that hides outside the city and runs smuggling jobs off-world. They take in all kinds, rookies and veterans alike. Judging by their lack of preparation, I'd say this particular group is green as hell. Probably their first attempt at heist. That should work in our favor. Right about now, they're probably wishing they've just stayed home. They won't talk to me. Say they don't trust the badge. They want a neutral negotiator. In other words, they didn't have a plan for this, so they're stalling while they come up with one. Without demands, I ain't got much to work with. About all we can do is wait and see. All right, I'm willing to allow that. But a few things first. Say what you have to, But whatever they ask for, there's no way in hell I'm giving it to them.
Also, there are lives at stake, so don't get cavalier.
Find out what they want, and then report back to me.
Take it slow and steady. Look for every opportunity to de-escalate. You got this.
You're the negotiator, huh? If you think you're just gonna walk up here and get us to surrender, you're dead wrong. It's Jed. Jed Bullock. Well, ain't you polite? So tell me, stranger, how do I know you're gonna deal straight with us? I don't know you, so why should your word mean anything to me? I'm so ready to get out of here. Yeah? Well, I got news for you. We're real safe and sound, and we're not going anywhere. When this is over, I'm never setting foot in a bank again. Well, I guess you have a point. I guess that's true. Okay, I can see you're not just the Marshal's tool. You want what we want. A nice, happy ending where nobody gets hurt. So let's talk. They talk too damn much. Complain about everything. But as much as we'd like to, none of us has shot one yet. We want to guarantee a safe passage to the spaceport and a ship. We'll drop the hostages off somewhere safe in the system. After that, we'll radio back where they are, and the Marshal and his crew can come and get them. But if anybody follows us when we break orbit, we start shooting people. Got it? What, you think we want to stay locked up in here? Hell no! Oh, hell, the Freestar Rangers have got ships. They can give us one of them. This whole damn job's gone wrong. It was supposed to be just a quick hit. Clean and simple, you know? So let's all try to keep our heads, yeah? Because my guys, they're going crazy in here. I don't know how much longer we can last. What do you mean? I know. I'm not disagreeing with that. Nobody's been hurt, so maybe the judge won't come down too hard on us. Yeah. I think this has gone on long enough. You go tell the Marshal we'll come quietly.
You'd make a decent ranger with the way you handled that.
What's the word?
Well, I'll be a son of an Ashta. How'd you pull that off?
Considering those are Shaw's people, that's damn near a miracle. Here, you've more than earned this. You got us out of a tough spot, and you did it with courage that's not common. As a matter of fact, you might just be Freestar Ranger material. If you're interested, head on over to the Rock and ask for Emma Wilcox. She handles the new recruits.
Oh, no. Jacob. Of course that old mule saw this coming. He's just a bitter old man, interfering in what's none of his business. There we do. I was hoping to avoid the estate when we landed. Cora's gonna be so mad. We really gotta do this? You're not wrong. I know, it's just... it's personal. Alright, fine. He's my dad, okay? We're not exactly on friendly terms. He probably figured I'd come for the maps at some point. Got ahead of me. Family business just wasn't something I wanted to get into, you know? God, that's the worst part. They're thick as thieves. Last thing I need is Jacob in her life. Let's leave it at that. One thing's got nothing to do with the other. I was hoping for a quick in and out, no muss, no fuss. Turns out my luck didn't hold. Listen, there's gonna be a whole lot more of this ahead if I need to talk to my old man, so... I'll try, but get ready for it.
Excuse me, is your ship in need of a doctor? Or a botanist? I might be able to help. I trained to be a surgeon at the Corps, but I know a lot about rongoa and internal medicine too. My parents are doctors. I grew up learning from them. Really? That's great! I'm looking forward to the adventure. I've never left Aquila City before.
I obviously know a lot about medicine, and I'm an experienced botanist too. I'd be happy to help collect samples in the field.
Oh, thank you. I'll work hard, I promise.
Hello there. It's been a long time since I saw a new face at the hitching post. Did you just come from the spaceport? Aye, Captain. I am not surprised. You have the look of a starfarer. Do you employ a crew? I'd be happy to offer you my services as a mechanic. I have experience working on traveling ships. I have worked with ships all my life, so I am familiar with most of their systems. I am especially good at fixing impact damage from combat or space debris. I also specialize in repairing shields. I think they're the most important part of a ship. I've seen firsthand how bad it can be if they fail. Excellent. I am not a greedy man, but I have a family to provide for. Can you offer a fair salary? I accept. Thank you for the offer. It has been a long time since I left Aquila space. I have missed working in the space lanes.
Samco finally decides to darken our doorstep again.
You know why I'm here.
Oh? And what's that? You come to your senses? Realize where you ought to be for once?
I ain't asking again.
You ain't asked once. Let's hear it. I want you to say the words about what's more important to you than family.
Okay, this was a mistake.
The only mistake I'm seeing here is you. Bringing your Constellation lackey here instead of my granddaughter. Come to help Sam loot his ancestry? You're not getting those maps. Full stop.
I got just as much right to those maps as anyone else in this family.
That's exactly right, Sam. We all share Solomon's legacy. Only some of us are around to live up to it, and some of us aren't.
All right, that's enough. Come on, let's you and I talk. In private.
Welcome home, Sam. Make your visit short, okay? It's what you do.
Give me a sec. All right, let's talk options. No, I don't. It's just... It's been a while, but this is how it goes. Every time. You're flying in the face of my 30-plus years experience with the man, but all right. I hope you like arguing.
Sam's Constellation lackey here to bother me again? Well, that's not your decision, is it? It's co-property by birthright. It stays here. You really believe that, don't you? You think I'm not trying to help him? Can't believe I'm saying this. But if it'll get you out of my hair, then fine. You can have the maps. They're in the other room, here. Key.
All right, let's see if we can find the empty nest. All right, let me think. The way I heard it, the readings he was getting were normal at first, then they bottomed out. And no creature, alien or otherwise, would dare step inside. There. Found it. Oh, boy. That's a problem. First, it's in the middle of the frontier, which we already expected. No problems there, but the usual tussling with alien wildlife. But the empty nest is a cave right in the middle of Shawgang territory. Same outlaws who held up Galbank. Criminal groups in Aquila always find a way. But they usually have to keep on the move to avoid the Ashta. Well, it could just be a coincidence that the cave we want happens to be where the Shaw gang runs around. But something doesn't feel right. Me too. But there's no helping it. We're gonna have to get through them and the local wildlife to get to that cave.
Welcome, welcome! Let me ask you a simple question, friend. Are you prepared to see something so wondrous and strange that you're sure never to forget it? I'm offering you the chance to see something truly exotic and unique. Now, a small remittance is involved, yes, but if you allow me to explain, I think you'll agree it's a price that's more than fair. With pleasure. We got animals from the deepest, darkest corners of the settled systems. What you'll see will delight and amaze. Just a modest fee, and you can feast your eyes. I envy you, truly, for this opportunity. Absolutely. There's a reason folks around here call me Honest Earl. Step right through this door and take as long as you like perusing the menagerie. Oh, and please don't attempt to feed the creatures. In fact, it's best if you don't touch them either.
Got a moment to hear about the Low House? It mean a lot to me and to others.
If you won't help Marco find a job, least we could do is give them a good...
Good to know there's still some folks who can take an interest in the welfare of others. The Low House is a place where folks down on their luck can get a hot meal and a bed to sleep in. More importantly, they can do it with some dignity. No need to beg or steal. Everything's given with no questions asked and no favors owed. I run the place. Have for years. But to do it, I have to rely on the kindness of others.
If you don't want to help them, what about their little one? Liv.
What do you think I'm doing this for my benefit? I'm doing it because once, a long time ago, I was a guest at the Low House. I was the one who needed saving. That's right. And most people want to. Sometimes they just need a helping hand to pull them up from a dark place and set them on their feet again. Look, I'll be honest with you. We get a little help from some other wealthier folks in the city, but it's barely enough. It takes credits to provide for those in need, and I'm hoping you'll be willing to contribute. If you can spare a few credits, it'll do a lot of good. Thank you. I don't know if you believe in karma, but I do. I think you just earned yourself some.
I'm just thankful to be alive after that robbery. Thank you. Got tired of living under the boot. The UC always tells you what to do and how to do it. If you're down, they want to keep you there. I thought maybe hard work and patience would lead to better things, but it became clear that that was never going to happen. The only way out was to leave the UC behind. So I brought the family here. Things aren't much better, but at least I don't have the piglets breathing down my neck anymore. Moving out here cost a lot. Now we're barely getting by. It's impossible to save up anything so Liv can have a future. Truth is, I was a fool to think anything would change. Now Simone and I barely talk, and Liv? That's even worse. You know what the worst thing for a parent is? To look into your child's eyes and see pity. That's how you know you've hit rock bottom. We've been given as much charity as I can stomach. Without the Low House, I mean, there's something, but it's a hell of a thing to ask. As dark as things are, there are so many good people out there. Simone, my wife, has got a cousin, Milena Exelrod. Truthfully, I never much cared for Milena. But she runs freight, and I know her routes sometimes take her this way. Milena is family. Might be she'd do something for her kin. I'm looking for a job, and I'll do anything, well, anything legal. Milena's United Colonies, like us, and I know she's got problems of her own with Aquila City. She clams up the times I've asked. Not even Simone knows. I'm sure she's run afoul of the law somehow. That's kind of how she operates. You are an answer to our prayers. Milena called Simone yesterday. I'm pretty sure she's still in the system. Just giving me any hope. It's a lot.
You must be a tourist. Aquila locals know better than to interrupt a man when he's drinking alone. Not really. If you have a job that needs doing, I'll hear you out. That's the only kind of company I'm looking for. Well, this isn't the best part of town for sightseeing. The crowd at the hitching post is a whole lot friendlier to strangers. But since we're already talking, I guess I ought to introduce myself. The name's Ezekiel. Some folks around town call me Easy. Is there something I can do for you? That's right there in my name. Ezekiel. People called me that when I was a kid, and that stuck. A job offer? Huh. I haven't been on a starship in years. Well, maybe it's time to change that. But let me ask you something first. What are you looking for out there? You know, what keeps you traveling? I'm not keen on working for a stranger, especially on a starship. I need to know what makes you tick before we work together. You're one of those, huh? Seems like a common story. I've met plenty like you at the spaceport over the years. Well, for better or worse, you're clearly a person of conviction. If you're serious about your offer, I'll join you. Nope, not asking for a salary. Save your credits for someone who really needs them. If it is, I'll keep it to myself. I know what I'm getting into. Fixing things is my strong suit. I've been working as a handyman around Aquila City for years. I'm also a self-taught expert on Starship shield systems. I guarantee your ship will be in safe hands with me. I'm a hard worker. You can count on that. I can start as soon as you need me to.
If you got credits, spend them with Ethan. Or leave. You surprised or disappointed? It's my name on the outside, isn't it? Been here too damn long to let someone else come in and muck it up. Hell, even finding decent help isn't worth the trouble half the time. Ethan's got half a brain in his head, seems like, so maybe he'll work out. More and more as time goes on. Plenty of folks looking to get out from under the thumb of the UC, or taking their first steps to being independent. City's been slow to keep up with all the new people. Took them forever to put up the outer walls, and at this rate, they'll need to expand again soon.
If you want to purchase anything, just let me know. Or if you have any rare finds. Yes, I had a husband, but he's no longer with us. We loved to travel, and always we'd be looking for rare books. Most of what you see here are mementos. It's sometimes hard to sell, but books are not meant to be hoarded. They're meant to be shared and spark something in us. Movies, slates, theater, all have their appeal. But books, you can get a window to mankind in its earliest days. Whether adventure with Homer, or the actual thoughts of Julius Caesar penned in his own hands. And they offer visions of the future and wonderfully impossible things and might-have-beens. So, yeah, I do like books. I am a bit of an aficionado of old Earth novels. Well, truth be told, it's more of an obsession. Reading their stories is a revelation, not only for, the pure imagination, but the window you get into long-gone historical eras. I'll pay handsomely for any books you find like that, except Charles Dickens. definitely not Charles Dickens. Oh, nothing wrong at all. When colonists were forced to leave Earth for good, cargo space was precious, and for some reason everyone thought to bring their Charles Dickens collection. No, I mean he was an amazing writer. His stories are timeless. But what I'd give for a copy of Sense and Sensibility, or The Three Musketeers, oh! The original Three Musketeers, mind you, not the dozens of interpretations of it. If you call that reading. Oh, I'm sorry. There's nothing you have I don't have or am interested in. Sorry.
Oh, hey there. How can I help you? Oh, well, I guess I'm a dreamer. Always have been. My head in the nebula, as my dad would say. But I'm not cut out for the independent life, not really. But I want to be a part of all this, so here I am, helping people achieve their dreams, doing my part to make the universe a better place. Maybe with a smidge of living vicariously through the people I meet doing this. Like yourself. I like to imagine I've somehow become a small part of your adventures. Stop it, you. Not while I'm on the clock, anyway. Though I'm always on the clock. Thanks anyway, though. You're too kind. Oh, that's okay. I'm sure you're trying your best. Oh my! I completely forgot. Yes, of course. We have an amazing pamphlet called Top of the List, which is scientifically proven to work 90% of the time. Though, I'm afraid there's a small fee to cover printing expenses. But your commission will more than make up for that, I can assure you.
You got some business with me? Oh, well, if the Marshal sent you to me, that means he's looking to recruit you. Just so you know what you're getting into, I'll explain who we are and what we do. Well, the Freestar Rangers ensure the safety and security of the Freestar Collective and its people. We might hunt down a fugitive, break up a smuggling operation, investigate a starship theft, or put some would-be bank robbers behind bars. Whatever needs doing to keep the people safe, we do. Like most things that are worth doing, it ain't always easy. But do I think we make the Freestar Collective a little safer for everyone? Yeah, I do. I imagine you've got some questions. I'll answer anything I can. I'll say right up front that if you're looking to get rich, this ain't the line of work for you. But yeah, we do get paid from time to time to help with expenses and such. Well, in theory, a Freestar Ranger can go anywhere in Freestar Collective space, even private property. But of course, it doesn't always work out that way. We also have jurisdiction over any local security when we're tracking a fugitive. The number's always changing due to retirements, recruiting, and unfortunately, death in the line of duty. But as far as I know, there's never been more than a dozen Rangers at any one time. Okay then. A word about myself. I'm in charge of making sure anyone that wants to be a Freestar Ranger is up to the task. That being said, the Marshal wouldn't send you here if he didn't think you had potential. So, what's it gonna be? Are you ready to sign up with the Freestar Rangers? I prefer a more practical kind of evaluation. I'll give you the details if you want to join up.
Might be a good fit for you. The Rangers can do a lot of good.
Before I hand you a badge, I need to know you can handle the job. You helped out with the hostage situation, but sometimes people just get lucky. Tell you what, use the mission terminal and take one of the listed jobs. Your choice. Come back alive, and we'll talk about you joining up. This is a dangerous line of work, and I'm not putting someone in the field unless I'm sure they're ready. Then I suggest you get going.
A ranger's work is never truly done. Well, if you're asking me to toot my own horn, I will oblige. I'm a senior ranger. I coordinate all manner of things, great and small, for our outfit. If you've ever seen the mission bore, that's my baby. It's restricted to rangers, though. Just about the hardest way possible. I had, shall we say, a checkered past. Rangers caught me dead to rights and offered a deal. Leniency if I helped take down my, well, criminal associates. So I took the deal. It was real touch and go, but a lot of bad guys went down. No friends of mine. Truth be told, I barely had a choice to work for them. But they were behind bars, and so was I. But I served my sentence, searched the dark recesses of the soul. I realized the only time I felt genuinely good about myself was working with the Rangers. So after a parole for the very best of behaviors, I nagged the Rangers night and day until they gave me a chance. Haven't looked back since.
You seen those Ashta outside the walls? They keep me in business, if you take my meaning. Overall, not too bad. People keep me hopping all the time. Mainly it's minor scruffs, bruises, the occasional broken arm. The real work is when someone gets attacked by an Ashta. Those are the bad times.
Good to see you. Got into a tussle with a Shaw Gang smuggling ship in Kodos orbit. Had to limp back to Aquila City, with my ride mostly in one piece. It was a bit of a hard landing, you might say. Got a few broken ribs and a concussion. Turns out one of those ribs punctured a lung. Had a breathing tube in for a spell, but that's gone now. Seems I'm healing up pretty good. Last I saw, it was on fire and doing a swan dive into the Kodos sky. I appreciate you saying so. Truth is, I've been in tougher scrapes than that. But here I am, still carrying on. Right now, not much of anything. Doc says I need a rest. Meanwhile, I've been trying to make myself useful, reading dispatches and reports and such. That way, when I'm cleared for field duty, I'll know the lay of the land.
Shaw and her gang are strong-arm types. Robbery, assault, murder. You know. Talking about me is my favorite subject. A kid. There's so many planets, moons, celestial phenomena out there. Most captains just sail through the Great Black, not even really looking, appreciating. A lot of the time touching down on a virgin planet can be, well, uneventful. But every now and then, you see something no human has ever laid eyes on. That is what I live for. Cora has the complete top-of-its-class learning videos and lessons. And I have to occasionally do some of the old homeschooling. Fortunately, mainly it's the videos. Around when she was 7, she could already see the cracks in my knowledge. Come to think of it, I think she's doing an introductory college course in astrophysics. Not being graded, like, for fun. She's so weird. I've seen my fair share of scrapes. Actually, a triple share with a massive bonus worth. Some folks say I'm the luckiest man alive after making it through some real whoppers. But the trick is to always keep a cool head. Impulsiveness, fear, adrenaline, all those will get you jumpy. You get too jumpy, your target could be 5 in front of you and you'll miss every time. There's no next. I want to be exploring until they pry the boots off my cold, dead feet. I mean, Cora will go to university, and the price tag there is scarier than any jam we've been in. But for me, my truest love is the next star, the next horizon.
How's it going? Oh, sure, if you want. I was in a starship accident when I was young. It killed my sister, Emmeline, and left me with this scar. I haven't been off-world since. After Emmeline died, space travel lost a lot of its luster. I couldn't see the wonder in it anymore without her. I'm a universal, so that's a heavier thing for me than most. The accident happened 12 years ago. 12 years to the day before we met, actually. It's a term for practitioners of Sanctum Universum. My entire family were universals. For a long time, just seeing a starship reminded me of her. She was the only family I had. My parents died when I was just a baby. Once Emmeline was gone, I was all on my own. I mainly took care of myself. Our parents had a small house in the stretch that Emmeline inherited when they died. That's where I stayed. A couple of the neighbors offered to let me live with them, but I never took them up on it. I couldn't bear to move out of that house. But they kept me fed and helped with the bills until I was old enough to start working. I wouldn't have made it without them. They died in a starship accident too. Almost exactly 12 years before Emmeline did. Some coincidence, huh? Nobody can if they haven't been through it. That's part of the reason I've kept to myself all these years. I didn't want to bother the folks around me with something they couldn't understand. I wanted to know what you stood for before I signed on. And my faith teaches that a person's connection to space says a lot about them. Leaving Aquila was a big decision for me. I had to make sure I was traveling with a captain who loves being out here, whatever their reason. Hope you're superstitious. This is gonna sound crazy otherwise. Something life-changing happens to me every 12 years, almost to the day. We met right on time, 12 years after the last major event. It felt like a sign. I'm not the type of person to ignore those. It told me you think of space as more than a means to an end. You must really love it out here if you travel just for the thrill of it. I have a lot of respect for people who see things that way. I'm a member of the Sanctum Universum. We call ourselves Universals. That eases my mind. To tell you the truth, I'm still nervous about being out here. It's been years since the last time I was on a starship. My whole life. My parents were early adopters of Keeper Aquilus' teachings. They raised my sister Universal, and after they died, she raised me the same way. The two of us prayed together every day. There aren't a lot of other Universals in the Freestar Collective, so we didn't have a church to go to or anything. Our shared faith is part of the reason we were so close when I was growing up. The founder of the Sanctum Universum. He arrived in New Atlantis several decades ago and started spreading the beliefs of the Sanctum there. Sanctum Universum means holy universe. That's the core of what we believe, that the universe itself is holy. We think of space travel as a means of connecting with God. We believe they are out here somewhere, and that travel in the stars is the best way to find them. I'm glad she did. I was just a baby when our parents died. I never got to know them. Sharing their faith made them feel a little closer. I can manage that. The thing that changed most about me is my faith. I was a devoted universal before Emmeline died, but I barely pray at all anymore. It's part of why I've avoided space travel all this time. Didn't see the point in being out there without something to connect to. But I'm trying to get it back. That's why I decided to join your crew. I'm trying to reconnect with that part of myself. You're right. She wouldn't. Emmeline believed our faith connected us to our parents even after they were gone. If her spirit really is out there somewhere, I hope that finding a way to believe again will make it feel closer. Maybe it'll help me miss her less, too. Hearing the story once wasn't enough for you? There was a fire aboard my sister Emmeline's ship. She died saving me from it. I'm not going over the rest again. I already feel guilty about what happened to her. Reopening old wounds won't make that any better. I'd like that. Thanks.
So what do we got here? Too clean to be one of the settlers. Or a pirate. You see on patrol, maybe? It'd make my day if you said you were a shock trooper out for a stroll. Vanguard, huh? Yeah, I expect they didn't. I'm Hadrian. I was a researcher with the UC. I came here on a rumor of a... Well, I expect you saw the results on your way in. What's left of the settlers? The work of Oxysio Machina. A terramorph. One of the nastiest aliens humanity's ever crossed paths with. And this one, well, it's something of an anomaly. Possibly a worrying one.
A terramorph here? That is very, very bad news.
I managed to scope out a fair bit of the facility before it found me. If there are any survivors of the attack, they're long gone. Terramorphs have a unique growth cycle. They're usually only found on worlds that have been long colonized by humanity. But Tao said he's too young to have one. Yet here it is. I came looking for an explanation and found all this.
Man, I wish I was you. I'd love to not know a damn thing about him.
Among apex predators, they're the pinnacle. Resilient, agile, smart, and their mental prowess only increases with age. Some can even dominate the minds of weaker species, keeping them as pets, livestock, or toys. They're creatures without peer. I sure could. Because to confirm my suspicions about this creature, I'm gonna need a tissue sample from it. And to get that, I need its corpse. But there is a way we can give ourselves an edge against this thing. The plant's security system. The admin terminal's here in this building, but it needs its connection reset. And as I found out, that's not a one-person job. But if you can make it to the security outpost and restore the connection, I think I can get things back online. See if the settlers left us any other tools. Admin access is centralized to the terminal in this room. Nothing's coming back online if I'm not here. But even if that weren't the case, I'd likely be more of a liability out there than a help right now. It's the building in the middle of the facility. The terminal in there should allow you to grant me access to the system as a whole. Then we can see about getting things back online. The settlers outfitted most of the buildings with turrets at some point. Not sure how many are still operable, but at least a few appeared to be in fighting shape. There were also some sensors scattered around the facility that I didn't recognize. But those are honestly all just educated guesses until we get the connection reset. Good. Once I see the connection reset, I'll get things underway on my end. Take care of yourself out there. And make sure you leave enough of that thing for us to get a sample. Tracker's gone quiet. I suspect it's either hiding or... Wait. You did it, didn't you? Heavens above! You just flatlined a terramorph! Oh yeah, taken care of. No big deal. You didn't happen to grab me a tissue sample, did you? All right. I suppose spotted a microscope downstairs. Let's see if we can't get to the bottom of this. The older model. Alright, let's see what you can do. Running basic diagnostics. Nothing. Maybe a flax can? No. Spectrograph. Damn. This equipment, it's not set up to do a proper analysis of our sample. But this terramorph being here, of all places, it doesn't make sense. Humanity's spread plenty of creatures in our travels across the stars. Pets, livestock, pests. But terramorphs? They're different. To our knowledge, no one's ever spread them intentionally. Yet somehow, they follow us.
She's right. Everyone's got theories about them, but no one has the answer.
So when humans settle a world, 70 to 100 years later, terramorphs tend to just appear. No one knows how or why. Dangerous, but at least predictable. Talseti, though, it's too young to have a native population. It's only been colonized 20 years? But then the other option, that someone captured one of the deadliest predators in the galaxy just to wipe out some settlers minding their own business? That seems awfully implausible. Which means we're either looking at a truly strange murder or a faster type of terramorph growth, the results of which could be catastrophic. Terramorph outbreaks have taken down far bigger colonies than this one. Well, they're not exactly buying tickets and flying coach. The theory is that they're spread by some kind of egg or seed that's able to evade our detection. But how the hell an undetectable egg turns into a terramorph without anyone noticing is a question no one's ever found an answer to. And it's why what's happened here could be real bad news for the rest of human civilization. They have. They even took down an entire city once. A place called Londinian had to be quarantined due to a massive outbreak during the Colony War. It's the only known loss of that scale, but it's the reason why any change in our relationship with these creatures needs to be taken very seriously. There is. I mean, there has to be. We just have to find it. Time was, I had access to one of the best repositories of terramorph research in the galaxy. Seems a natural place to start looking, if I can figure how to access it. But we also need to get this sample properly analyzed, get confirmation on just how concerned we should be. Luckily, I think I know just the person to help with the sample. What would you say to delivering this to him for me? I'd do it myself, but I need to call in some favors. See if I can't get access to that terramorph data. Plus, maybe just pop by a hospital for a little bit. Clear it with your commander first if you have to. You can even show them this. My gene tag. Tell them Hadrian Sinan is worried there could be more attacks on the horizon. They should recognize the name. I was. Long time ago. Family tradition. But I know some of the folks from my old unit moved into the Vanguard. A couple even owe me favors. If I'm lucky, your commander is one of them. Oh, you don't understand what a weight off my shoulders that is. I need Dr. Percival Walker to put together a sample analysis for this thing. Full workup. He'll know what that means. I'm not sure exactly where to find him, but last I heard he was contracting with the Trade Authority on Mars. There's a place called the Sixth Circle in Sidonia. Bar run by some old friends. I'll meet you and Percival there. And here, it's not exactly a bounty, but you certainly deserve them. Should cover the cost to fuel to Mars, at least. Now please, go check in with your commander. We need to know what we're dealing with.